What is up, guys? We're live again with another Lurr Lounge. We have Bam and we have Mr. R. Yeah, we're going to talk about Collision and Glory 2, both pretty big events that happened over the weekend. I think you should probably talk about Collision first. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's probably the main topic.
It's your podcast, whatever you
Yeah, come on, man.
It is, but like at the same time,
Listen to the people.
Yeah, I want you guys' take. I don't want to just,
Yeah, we can talk about Collision first, since that was the bigger event.
Dude, the upsets. So many upsets.
Oh, yeah.
The one that comes to mind the most is Cosmos versus Shoddyk. That was crazy.
Dude, I'm sure you guys saw it already, but I don't know if you guys saw that picture.
The tweet?
They had of, that one tweet where it's like Shoddyk taking a picture with Cosmos.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, and he's like a little kid.
Yeah.
And then him, like, shaking Cosmos' hand, and then afterwards him winning and then shaking his hand.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Poetic, man. That was pretty lit.
Pretty inspirational, honestly.
Yeah, it's hype. Something that made me laugh is someone tweeted out that Light said, "Damn, that's one of my biggest nightmares, for me to drop my main and then someone to beat me with my main like a few years later."
Yeah, that's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah. What's crazy too is Shoddyk uses the exact same color as Cosmos.
Oh yeah, no, he's a
Yes.
big Cosmos fan, like, for sure. So, like, it was, like, very, very poetic that he was able to get that done. And it's kind of interesting, too, because even Cosmos had talked a little bit about Corrin actually being a lot better than he initially thought. Mm-hmm. And he was, like, kind of messing around with the character, but then obviously Aegis came out, and he really loves, like, Aegis and character's hype, and obviously one of the best characters in the game, so he, like, stuck with it. But you've seen a couple people say that, even, like, Leo. I mean, of course, like, he obviously used an invitational stuff as well, but he was saying, like, yeah, he really thinks that the character 2 is not as bad as everyone thinks. So it was kind of cool to see that happen in that scale after, like, you've heard, like, little murmurs here and there about about Corrin in general.
It's funny because I was talking, because I interviewed Cosmos about it, and he mentioned it, and then he said, yeah, he feels that Corrin is underrated, but he also still feels that the character sucks. And one of his reasoning is that he thinks that Corrin loses very badly to Wolf and like some other characters. It just feels like the character struggles. So Ramen, I don't know if I know when we talked yesterday, you said you didn't see the set. Did you end up watching the set?
I actually haven't watched it, but I do know how he lost the last game, because you told me about it. Apparently he was up like 3 stocks or like 2 stocks.
3 stocks to 1.
3 stocks to 1, yeah. And then he ended up losing somehow.
From what I was watching, it just felt like he was like, all right, I won. He just stopped focusing.
It might have been there.
Yeah. It definitely looked like it was kind of standard, like, now I just I can just log in, let my autopilot go, and eventually I'll get this kill. I'm so far ahead. And then he just didn't give up.
Yeah. It's funny because he, like, when I was watching, I was like, okay, Shoddyk's kind of on tilt. Like, Cosmos should have this, like, very easily. And then he probably felt the same way, so he just calmed down. And you like, as a competitor, that's the worst thing you do, is just like in the back of your head think you've won before it says it on the victory screen.
Yeah, very deceiving. Like, losing the comebacks in general is just so demoralizing, like, afterwards.
Yeah,
because it feels like you had it in the bag basically, and then you lost. But yeah, Cosmos got like what, 33rd, I think.
Yes, he lost to Peebdun Losers.
Peebdun is actually really good.
Yeah.
So not too surprised though, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean that Cosmos Shoddyk set was pretty crazy. Like you said, like, he kind of just like turned off on autopilot. I mean, credits to Shoddyk though for, like you said, calming down his nerves. He got a lot of good like juggle situations towards the end, right, to kind of close out these stocks. It was pretty solid for him to, you saw Cosmos going for a very standard recovery, right? With the side being, he's just like, nah, I'm not gonna let you have that, right? And then got him with the neutral B, so to get that kill. It's just funny because he's just kind of very like standard par for course juggles, and Cosmos was just doing the same thing, rinse and repeat. Really just thought he had it.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to touch on Peebnut a little bit too. I feel like no one knows who he is anymore, because every time I say,
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, every time I say Peebnut, they're like, "Do you mean the Mac player?" I'm like, "No, that's Peanut." Peebnut.
No, yeah, Peebnut is really good. He's been good. Even in Smash 4, he was like really good towards the end.
Yeah.
And then I remember, I think it was Momocon in this game where I had to fight him, and he beat me. And like I wasn't too surprised because he was good in Smash 4. But like a lot of other people were surprised because that was like at the time he didn't travel a lot. Seeing him like travel more and taking like more like big names, it's honestly not that surprising to me or any Smash 4 player because he's been good. It's just for a lot of players, it's more of a matter of like traveling to majors than like it's more of a matter of like getting the right amount of exposure than like your skill level.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like all it takes is one big tournament, and for people to just remember your name, and then they'll always bring it up. But for Peanut's case, I think he's like on like a small come up because there's a tournament called the Peanut Invitational.
Yeah,
and then
I saw that.
He got second at like behind Cola, and I think he was coming from Winterside's Grands.
Does he just go all Mega Man now?
I think he's just Mega Man. But yeah, he beat NBD at Collision, and then I know he took Light to Game 5. I don't know how close the last game was.
I'm not too surprised about the MVD win because that matchup was really annoying for some.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But Light Game 5?
Yeah. Dude, I feel like Light just he always has like Game 5 last hit sets.
He does. He has a lot of those.
Like I know his set with Jackal was also close, and I think that was like a qualifying match to get to top 32 or like round 1. So it was like something very early in bracket.
I feel like Jackal is like really good too, but I think at majors he's been like underperforming or like maybe not underperforming, but he hasn't been like doing as well as I think he would do sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I look at his local results and he does really good at a local level. But in this game I feel like your tournament skill set and your skill set at a local level, like in friendlies, are like two completely different things.
For sure.
It's hard to get used to the pressure for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people right now that aren't like they're on that cusp and they just haven't had their breakout performances yet to really start like cracking into that whole like to demystify for themselves like what a regional or like a major is, right? But yeah, he's definitely one of them because I feel like everyone talks about how good Jackal is all the time. Like, and it's like it's really a damn shame that he hasn't been able to really break through that, and get to where he needs to be. Well, he's had some couple like close stints, but
I will say he has had some good breakout performances, like SmashCon. He top 8 at SmashCon. Mm-hmm. That tournament he did beat Light. He almost beat Spargo there as well.
Oh wow! Okay, I actually didn't know he top 8 at SmashCon.
Yeah, he top 8 at SmashCon.
Yeah. He jammed it, that one.
Yeah, that was hype because all 3 Spaceys were top 8. Like Jackal, Wolf, Tilde, Falco, and then Light Fox. All of them got top 8 there.
That was a good day. Charles is popping off.
Yeah.
He's definitely popping off. But yeah, I mean, like it's interesting because usually for players, like they hit that kind of one, and then they start to ramp up, I would say, right? And they get in a spot where they're usually like, okay, I got that off my back. Now I can just play my game and play that level. But it still feels like even after that SmashCon, he hasn't fully broken it. Like some people that he'll lose to, some people are like, oh, I feel like he could have, beaten this person, or he could have, placed higher. So it's very interesting.
What I will say is I feel like Wolf is a pretty stressful character to play in tournament because of how you have to play him. I feel like he's a very honest character and how he plays and how he plays against characters.
Okay.
Hear me out.
I was just looking out on my screen.
I'm waiting for you to finish your sentence.
Glaze over.
Okay, so what I mean by that is like, in terms of neutral, Wolf can't just mash aerials on top of you. He doesn't have the frame data to do that. He also doesn't have like super ridiculous out of shit options minus his footstool out of shield. But even then, not a lot of players can do that. A lot of the ways you have to play him is just very you have to play him patiently at like a higher level. You can go ahead and say what you want. That's
no. I'm letting you finish. Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from to a certain degree. Like Wolf, maybe honest is not the right word, but you need good fundamentals to play Wolf. He doesn't have a lot of like flowcharty like mini games that you have to play around. Like other characters do. Like if you would play a Snake, for example, or a Mega Man, or a Duck Hunt, you kind of have to play their mini game. You have to play their game. Mm-hmm. Whereas Wolf, he doesn't really like. He has to adapt to his opponent's playstyle more often. So in that sense, he is honest, I guess.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Wolf an honest character, though.
I'm saying like it like relative to like other top tiers. He's
We definitely need to find a better term for that.
That's
I'm gonna keep it
true.
a buck in the Smash community because
Yeah.
that's annoying as hell. Because
You're right. You're right. You're
Like,
right.
I got you. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I clarified for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Like, you don't see like wolves just pop up like Steve Baines do and do well at tournaments because the character is kind of hard to play at top level. Like, let's face it. Just like doesn't mean he's bad or doesn't mean he's like. It's similar to like Lucina or even Pyramitra in my opinion, where they're all really good characters, but I don't think they're like easy to just pick up and do well with, like some other characters are.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Stocktaker 69. We have to talk about that. Stocktaker 69. People keep saying he's like this random dude who just came out of nowhere. He's been around. He is good.
Wait, who's Stocktaker 60? I saw his name pop up a few times at Collision, but I don't know who he plays. I don't know.
He's a wolf player.
I don't know who he is.
He's a wolf
player. Okay.
He's a wolf player from the tri-state area, and yeah, like he's been in the scene for like a long time. He beat Chag, and he beat
Chag. Wow.
Yeah, he beat Chag. He beat Chag and Elegant.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. He got 9.
Oh, that's impressive. I didn't know. I know he did good. I didn't know who he beat though. So
Yeah.
the Chag win is pretty huge.
Yeah. He beat Chag, but then Chag beat him in the run back.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Since we mentioned Chag, I gotta say he had a crazy ass losers run. When he lost to Stocktaker, that was round 1. That was round 1 of
Wow.
of like I think top 128, and then he made it all the way back and got the top got top 8.
Impressive. I feel like sometimes it's better to get sent to losers early. Because hear me out. You win a few sets in losers, and then you gain so much momentum, and you just have more confidence, and you just play better overall. Like I feel like sometimes when you get to losers later, you do worse in the tournament than when you get to losers earlier. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think the mentality, right? It goes a long way. And like, yeah, a lot of times when people are into it early, it's like, you're probably, if you get to losers early and you're like someone who's a talented player, then odds are you shouldn't be there in the first place. And so a lot of it really just has to deal with you correcting your mentality. And then once you correct your mentality and you start to ramp up, like you said, you get your momentum, you move forward. Versus like if you are at a later point of view, you feel bad because you're like, oh, I wish I was just in winners. And so you just feel bad over that. And then now you're also playing against a better opponent in losers versus if you're like round 1 losers. It gives you enough time and you don't really have to think too much of your opponent. Like, because again, you're a good player. It's more so of just like you changing your mentality and just moving forward.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree on that. Yeah, sometimes also just getting the loss out of the way, it's like a relief off your shoulders. It sounds weird to say, but yeah, sometimes you're just like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's in a weird way. It's like you feel relieved, and then like the pent up stress is like much better afterwards.
Yeah.
And then also like at these big tournaments, I feel like there's so much time in between sets sometimes because they want to stream everything. So if you're in winner, it's like you get cold really fast. Like not like physically cold, but like gameplay wise. But when you're in losers, you just go through so many sets, and then you're just warm and you're like on point, and you just keep playing better and better.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Like you're just playing a lot of matches because also the thing about it too is sometimes when you're in winners, you don't want to just like constantly keep playing friendlies because you don't want to burn yourself out. So you're kind of just like relaxing, conserving your energy. Whereas when you're in losers, because it's just like a rapid fire of matches, you don't have to worry about that as much.
And then I think Goblin made a good losers run too, even though he got like 13th.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Still like beat a few people.
He lost in pools. I forget who. I think he lost. I don't remember who he lost to. I'm gonna look it up actually.
I forgot the name of the guy, but I think he was a DDD player.
We lost to a Weezer.
Oh, was it Weezer? I think I remember that because like people kept posting like how did he lose to a band or something. Trolling. Yeah, he lost to Weezer, and then he beat a good amount of people. I think the most notable player he beat was Elegant.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Elegant is definitely not. It's more than pretty good. It's like a really good win now after his recent results.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like really impressive. Like he lost in pools and then got all the way to 13th. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows. I feel like Goblin in general, he has like a pretty solid mindset. Like I feel like
He does.
Yeah, like typically I don't really see him falter that often.
Yeah, I feel like he's the most consistent out of like the Roys, and I think one of the reasons is because of, like, also I think it's part of just his general play style. Like he plays more. I don't know. I feel like he has just more of a solid game plan majority of the time, and he's a bit more like reserved. And whereas like you have like Cola is like he has more like highs and lows, I would say, in terms of like how he plays. Like obviously he still plays smart, but it's very like aggressive, and it's like I'm going for this hard read, and if I'm not hitting this or if I make a mistake here, then I'm jammed. But then I just like that he's more sustainable. I feel like Goblin, and it like also then like you said, like even just outside of his game plan, his overall mindset just seems to be in a better place a lot of times. Where it's like even if it gets down, like he just I just got to do what I got to do, man. And you see it from him time and time again. It's pretty incredible to see.
Yeah. Something else I want to bring up. I feel like his he utilizes up out of shield way more than any other Roy. Like I feel like like his defensive aspect is better than the other Roy players, which you know typically I feel like Roys are very offensive, like you were mentioning.
Oh, honestly, even just his up Bs in general, like not even out of shield, like sometimes it looks. I know it's not random, but it looks like super random sometimes when he throws out the up Bs. I know there's definitely some thought behind it. Like he has like a game plan like surrounding his up Bs because usually they hit, but like I don't see how or why or like. He does it, and then it still connects a lot of the time. He's just really good at using all of Roy's B moves. Even his like side B. I call this one option from the edge to Goblin, which is just like jumping back or letting go of the edge and then jumping back and side Bing. It's a really good mix-up that he's been using a lot. And yeah, that just combined with his up Bs is just like I don't get how his up Bs land so often, but he's really good at like connecting them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like it seems like he does. I mean, obviously he gets the ones that are like out of shield, of course, too. But he definitely like in certain situations is like, oh, I'm just gonna take this damage and then like I'm gonna abuse the armor and I'm just gonna beat people like raw and like so. It's cool to see him use it as an anti-air there too, because I feel like it also leads into his rest of his game plan where people recognize like, okay, I know he does do up B out of shield, and I know he'll do like preemptive up Bs too. So it's like at a certain height, I got to be more cognizant of an anti-air than normal, and because of that, that like leads him into like falling into other things that he'll end up doing, whether it's like a jab into a back air, of course, or like a double edge dance or anything like that. But I do like how he purposely does that stuff in situations that gets people that also leads into the rest of his game plan.
He has solid conditioning, like for sure. Yeah. I think that itself goes a long way because I feel like that's like something that a lot of people don't really see when they're watching players play at like a higher level because it's like, oh, why is this working? It looks so dumb, but like he's conditioning them. Like get hit by it, Yeah, so Goblin got eliminated by Cola. That's how his bracket.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Oh, was it that close at all, or?
I didn't watch it. I forget. I think I was watching Tilde versus Jackal. Yeah.
Oh, Tilde won that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, dude, that set was like a choke fest. They were both playing so bad. You know, like like those sets where you can tell both players are nervous and they're just like they'll drop something and then the other person will drop something and then they just keep dropping things. Is pretty much how that set went. But as a spacey player, I had to watch it. At
a tournament like that, it's easy to get nervous or like feel pressured.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
First S tier of the season, after all.
Yeah. Also, I guess Riddles.
Yes, I'm about to say, man. Can we talk about Riddles?
Yeah, that was like the highest. He said that was. I think that was his highest placement at like an S tier. I think that was his first time top 8ing like a big
top 8ing.
Top 8ing a major. So shout outs to him.
And he went Terry for the majority of the part, right? Like I don't think he went Roy or like his other shoutouts that much.
It was just Terry and then Kazuya. Yep.
Yeah.
Kazuya Mishima.
Yeah, versus Cola. Dude, I feel like people need to give Terry more credit. That character is really good.
Oh, that character is insane, dude. The character is ridiculously insane, and the character fits like a lot of the problems that the Shotos will have. He does around similar damage. Obviously, it's not as crazy as like say like Ken, you know what I mean? And like his combo and his freaking like vortex, but he does insane damage. But the character's movement is way better. His specials are just more conditioned to the aspects of Smash, because surprise, Smash was based on KOF. Like, overall, the character is freaking insane. And I'm just happy that he is having more faith in Terry as a character too, because it just seems like a lot of times he's had that mentality of kind of going up and down, doesn't really know where he wants to go. So it's good to kind of see him like, just, hey man, like, you are there, like, you're very talented, like, just keep pursuing the characters. And he's able to do it with Terry. And then Kazuya, obviously, I think Kazuya's skill ceiling is absolutely insane. Yeah, I'm not too surprised that he was able to do it with these two. But yeah, Terry's nutty, man.
Yeah, dude. Something that I saw Riddles do so much is abuse the spot dodge cancel that Terry has. That moves
so stupid.
That moves insane. It's just like
it's so stupid.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, pretty much Terry can spot dodge, and then like if you input an attack, he can cancel his spot dodge, and he has like a completely intangible attack for like a certain amount of frames, and then I think the entirety of the attack, his upper body is intangible. So
yes,
you can't mess with it.
Yeah. I mean, spot dodge canceling is already kind of lame in this game, but then like
super spot dodge cancel.
That's a super spot dodge cancel. Yeah.
And then Go, like, I think that's something else that sets him apart from the other fighting characters. The fact that he just like, once he hits 100%, he has an infinite super.
It's literally infinite. Like, you can't lose it. But also, like, I feel like mentally it helps a lot. Like, if you have Go, this is as a player, because you're just like, damn, I'm still in this. You're still like, you don't get like pressured or nervous as much because of the possibility of you always being able to make a comeback. Like, easy to not like get upset or like you're still in the game basically no matter what. And having that mentality, I feel like, is almost equally as good as just having Go itself, basically.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that.
It's crazy because he's really simple, like B&Bs as well. They all lead into like easy damage out of like whether you're going for like power like geyser or you're just going to bust a wolf, right? And already that puts you at a pretty much kill percent if you know his like standards. Well, obviously Riddles is gonna know, right? So if he lands, gets a soft hit nair on you, if he gets like a down tilt on you, and Riddles is really good at hit confirming that stuff rather than doing like the down tilt into jab, which like for players who are aware, they can go and like SDI it in a way to get out of it for certain characters. But he's just really good at knowing like this really quick, like really tight like hit confirms into it. So it's like, dude, it's so insane, man.
Yeah, not just the confirms themselves, but he was doing a lot of them raw. Like, he would just, I think versus Quid, he'd Quid with a lot of power geysers off stage because, like, you're not expecting it to hit that far away.
No one does.
Yeah.
No one does. It's active too, like Palutena up smash active. So like you can, in situations too where it's like, they're probably gonna recover around here. And it's like you try to do some mix up air dodge, you're getting hit. If you just try to like fall down quickly, you're getting hit. It's very, very great utility move. And you can just get there fast enough as well. So you can always be in ranges where he can kind of pressure you and do something and then like just easily just throw it out.
Also, I'm looking at Riddles' bracket. He got some really good wins. So he beat Jake, he beat Light.
That's good.
He beat Cola, and he beat Quid.
He had a pretty good Terry bracket, honestly, because I feel like Terry usually gets lamed out by a lot of characters, like zoners. So, but he had like, I guess other than Steve, he's only had like characters that actually want to be near him, like Fox or Roy.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, good for him.
Yeah. He also beat Tilde as well.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised though because versus Cola he went Kazuya. He didn't go Terry. That was the only match that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That was the only match that he went Kazuya. So I'm really curious why.
I know he beat him like once with
Terry. Yeah.
Terry before, right?
Yeah.
At Summit, I think last Summit.
No, it was Smash World Tour. I think they played they played like 3 sets.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not really too sure. I'd be interested in asking him too, honestly. But I mean, if I were to wager, like I just feel like for Kazuya too, especially if you have like some read on some habits, like you can just straight delete a stock and then like that's that, Like Terry, for all his damage and stuff, and like overall being like a argue better character, he still doesn't have the ability to just outright just take one stock just off a hit like Kazuya can. And so potentially he just probably thought that was the best thing for him, just to like wipe him out rather than have those kind of openings where there can be a potential reversal or something.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah,
that.
no, for sure. It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously Riddle's really good, but I'm really wondering how he would do if he had to fight, like, I don't know, Samus players, like Pac-Mans, like, those kind of... I feel like those kind of characters just do well against the FGC characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where the Roy comes into play, because he still does have the Roy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, exactly. I feel like he should go Roy for those characters because Roy's like really good against those type of characters. So honestly, if this Roy gets to like the same level as this Terry, I feel like he can make consistent top 8s like more often, basically.
Yeah. Honestly, too, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in Terry. I feel like that character can just do things.
Yeah.
he can just do things.
Kind of can, man.
I think Terry just did good all weekend because Andre won for Glory as well, and he went Terry for the majority of the tournament.
He was Ken, wasn't he?
I think he went Terry, and maybe like, did he go Kazuya? I don't know. I saw him play Terry a bunch though.
Oh, because in top 8, I only saw Ken Ryu.
Oh, okay. I guess I saw some other sets where he went Terry, but yeah, it's pretty good for like FGC characters then all around.
Yeah.
Because Riddles also went Kazuya, so just a bunch of FGC characters doing well.
Yeah, and anyone who's like a fan of FGC, they're popping off this weekend.
Yeah, Vendetta was super hyped. I saw him like tweeting about how he's just hyped that all around they're all doing well. I mean, the characters are obviously they have like strength, especially in the game where people are getting better at understanding matchups, which is like now you can put yourself in a better position, and these characters have some of the best punish game out there, period, right? So it's cool to see some like quality players like picking up these characters and like continuing to push forward with them, because that they're going to be able to do some damage, one way or the other. So
also, this is like an unpopular opinion, but I actually like fighting the FGC characters, even Kazuya. Obviously they have some bullshit, especially Kazuya, but like they all get comboed so easily, so it's just not, like it's fun fighting them, especially as like Chrom or Sheik or like Paramitra, because you can just combo them almost as hard as they can combo you. You can all edge guard them as well. It's like it's a nice. It feels like fair at times, but then when you get hit, obviously it doesn't feel fair. But I would personally much rather fight like FGC characters than Steve or like Pac-Man or like the toxic zoners.
Yeah,
I mean,
what you see is what you get, right? You like you said, you hit hard, they hit you hard, but you hit them hard. And so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I like about it. It's very explosive, so it makes for good content basically for the viewers as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why you would say that. I'm actually fine to fight all the fighting characters except for Kazuya. I don't want to fight Kazuya. I don't want.
Kazuya gets f***ed up though once you hit him. Like it's pretty fun, like juggling him and comboing him.
Yes, but if you fight a good Kazuya, you get hit, you just die, and sometimes you just question like.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Like, how did this happen? What went wrong in my life? Exactly.
It's over, dude.
It's the only thing. At main stage, I played against T's Kazuya, and I'm like, dude, what is this? What have I played?
It's actually kind of funny because his Kazuya is like not that. It's like it's actually really solid. Like it's so funny that he has a secondary Kazuya that's that good. It's like actually he's blowing some people up with it at what's it called?
Summit.
Freaking Summit too. So that's pretty funny.
And I was like, dude, give me the Pac-Man. Camp me. Give me the Pac-Man. Just throw the Hydra.
It was funny to me how the Japanese players like Proto and T, they went like their secondaries and friendlies at Summit. They went like Steve and Samus for Proto, and then T went like a bunch of Kazuya. And then in bracket, I like barely saw it, or like if I saw it at all. I don't even remember seeing T's Kazuya besides like maybe one set. But I didn't see Proto play Steve or Lucina like in bracket, or not Lucina, Steve or Samus in bracket.
So I know he played Samus. From what I was hearing, because freaking EE was spreading this rumor that Proto was playing Steve, but then no one saw the Steve. So I don't even know if Steve actually even came out at all during Summit. But I know the Samus and stuff was there, but it didn't come out for the actual tournament itself too. You're right. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they didn't want to get downloaded and just played a bunch of secondaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
People.
Yeah. I mean, especially based off of what Proto said about the MKLeo set he had, where he kept switching to Lucina because he didn't want his mid to get downloaded. I definitely think that was definitely something that was like on their mind.
I feel like a lot of the Japanese players, they're kind of grimy sometimes with some things, but like because everybody has like this image of them being like very wholesome and nice, like they kind of let them get away with it, or like they don't notice it. But like something Zachary does a lot as well is like he'll go to a setup, like tournament setup, and he'll almost never pick his character first. He'll just wait for his opponent to pick
hits him with the veteran for sure.
And then he just counter picks them.
Bro, we were talking about that all weekend at Summit, like Proto. Dude, the eye drops got me, dude. When he's like
yeah.
That was the funniest thing to me. And it's like, and you're absolutely right. And it's like, it's not even like they're like abnormally grimy or something. It's just, they're just players, just like everyone else. They're just humans like everyone else. But everyone has this idea that like, oh, I'm Japanese, so I have to be like super wholesome. It's like, dude, they're people.
Yeah.
Like they are humans, like all of us. And if they want to win, they're gonna do some shit to win. Just like like some people.
I respect it.
I respect it too.
Oh yeah, I love it too. But yeah, for sure, it's funny because I'm sure they know too. Something like they see them, they're like, look at these baka gaijins, dude. Like again, they don't know what's going on. Like, you know what? Where am I? I don't know. Someone just give me time. I'm like, yo, let's go, Proto. Show him what's up, dude. he definitely.
No, the worst offender was Komori Kiri in Smash 4.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because he did that shit all the time. Because he played Sonic and Cloud.
Oh, he would just sit there and wait, right?
You just sit there and wait and like not pick his character until somebody picked their character, and then he would like counter pick them.
Yeah, he would actually, he would literally refuse to pick his character.
Yeah.
It was funny.
I remember people telling me about that. Okay, Collision top 8. I definitely think that was one of the best top 8s I've ever seen. In like a while. Yeah.
I love the Spargo versus MKLeo set.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was.
I think all their sets have been like very fun to watch.
Spargo MKLeo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He reverse 3-0'd him, or he
reverse 3-0'd
for Spargo?
No, he reverse 3-0'd him.
He reverse 3-0'd him. Yeah, okay.
Something I've noticed, which I really like about Leo in general, is he really abuses low profiling, especially as Byleth.
I've noticed that at Summit too. He actually lost the set for it at the end because he tried to down tilt Spargo's back air, and then the back air connected, and then the back air comboed into forward air, and he died.
Yeah.
But other than that one instance, he has been using like his low profile down tilts really well.
Yeah, I love that, man. There's not I think that people still need to get better at utilizing those things, especially in this game. Like obviously, like we all talk about how we hate some of the hurt box shifting in this game, but there's definitely I think people talk about that, but they don't talk about enough of like how am I going to use that in my own game plan to like mix people up or like to like bait people out, or anything like that. And we don't see that nearly enough, man, for how good it is.
I definitely agree.
Especially because there's so much hurt box shifting in this game, and I feel like people don't use it intentionally a lot of times. A lot of times it just happens to work out basically. But then there's people like MKLeo who just try to intentionally use their hurt box shifting against their opponent.
Yeah, if you guys are watching, I'm telling you, like rewatch his sets. He does it so much. It's really cool to see because sometimes you're probably like, why is he crouching? But that's why, because it just makes it that much harder for Spargo to back air him. But yeah, Spargo's showing that his Cloud's better than his Pyramithra. I feel like a lot of people after the first summit that he did well at, they were saying, oh, this kid's carried by Pyramithra. He's carried by Aegis. Aegis is broken. Like no one's really using Aegis that much.
You know what? I'm actually so happy he's doing good with Cloud because exactly like you said, I feel like Aegis is doing good result-wise, mostly because of Leo, Spargo, and Cosmos, and those are all like really good players.
Yeah.
So like the fact that people use that as an argument for Aegis being like the best character in the game was so ridiculous to me. So yeah, I'm just really happy he's been doing good with Cloud because that just proves that it's more so Spargo than it is Aegis.
100%. Like obviously, like Aegis is insane. Like the character is like super insane. But I really like to your point, like Ramen, like you were saying before, like when it comes down to the character where like it not so much honest, but the idea of like they're really 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 good, but they still have to play this neutral. It's not so much of them forcing you to play their mini game. It's more so that they have really really good tools to fight in all these like in any aspect of the game.
Exactly.
Versus other characters that are like you have to get through my mini game, and if you don't get through it, then you're dead, right? And so it's harder for you to just pick up like that character and succeed at like a top level. Yeah, like at low mid level, like sure, whatever, you can just run over someone because like my buttons are better than yours and I'm gonna do whatever. But there's definitely a clear difference. And so yeah, a lot of people had this idea where it's just like, oh, I can just do that, turn off my brain and good to go, and then I can top 8. And like you're not seeing that at all with this character. And so it's cool to see Spargo where it's like, okay, in certain instances, this is where I use Aegis. Other instances, I'm using Cloud. Some people talked about how good Cloud was and how insane the character is, and all of a sudden, surprise, Spargo's been able to do incredible things with the character. So it's been awesome. I think Cloud has been definitely slept on for quite some time now, and people just used to kind of throw him in the back burner. But hey, the character is showing at top level play. Like it can really has the tools to succeed. So it's cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's not to say that Pyre and Mythra aren't really good. I think they are really good. But I think I think they're a late meta character. It's like Sheik. I think like they're just late meta characters. You need someone who is incredibly precise. They know all of their stuff and they know how to like actually abuse what the character strengths are. Very few people actually know how to do, and that's why you're not going to see them dominate as much as people say that as much as people say that they are going to dominate like at a top level, because they're hard. I mean, they are easy to pick up, but they're like actually like they're precise character.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure people like don't misunderstand us, because like you said, they are a good character. They are top tier. Like we're not really talking about whether they're top tier or not, or whether they're top 6 or not, which they probably are. It's more so whether you can just pick up Pyre Mythra and do all. Because there's definitely this there's definitely like this mindset of like, if you just pick up Pyre Mythra, you can do good. Just look at like the recent majors where Spargo, Cosmos, and Leo just picked up a character and did good. And everybody was like on that train for like quite a while. I just don't agree with that. I think some characters are just, they can be busted, but they can also be hard to perform at a top level at the same time.
So you talk about Spargo set with Leo. Tweak also went off this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I definitely feel like a lot of people were kind of going like, oh, Tweak may not be like top 3 or top 2 anymore, or top 3 anymore, because of his recent results. Like he's been losing a little bit more. He definitely showed up. He beat Leo again, which shouts to him.
Seems like an annoying matchup for Byleth.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like Diddy in general is just like an annoying matchup for a lot of top tiers.
Yeah, I feel like Diddy does good against a lot of those 4 characters.
Definitely. I mean, I think Diddy's only real issue is a lot of those zoner characters, But like when you look at all the characters that people are playing at the top level, outside of like a T or whatever, it's like he's going to be in a really good spot. And he's talked about that before too, where like he like recognizes that, and so he has, right now it's just him trying to figure out where he places his other characters to deal with zoners. But when he doesn't have to deal with that, like just run up on people, and they just have to hold that, and he really gets to dictate the pace with his like banana. So, and
I really love watching Tweak. Like he's probably one of my favorite players to watch right now, just because you can tell how good he is just from his gameplay. I mean, that sounds like a ridiculous statement considering there's so many other good players. When I watch Tweak, it just looks, he does everything he does has a purpose.
Yeah,
it just looks very skillful. Like did you guys see the Gluto versus Tweak set at all?
Are you talking about at Collision?
Yeah. I
did. So when I watched it, I'm like, dude, like obviously Tweak is doing really well, but especially the last match, Gluto kind of fumbled.
He kind of choked, yeah. But I did like the very last stock, like that banana sequence where he was on the edge, and I think you read Gluto's bite attempt, because I think bite would have killed, and then he just like jumped off the edge, threw the banana, and then caught the banana, and then threw it downwards again, and then like F smashed him to the other side. It's so good.
It's messed up because like versus almost any other Diddy, you wouldn't have died there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like Gluto's decision to go for bite there wasn't actually a bad decision, because he could have gotten the kill if it landed basically, but then he died for it. It was like ridiculous.
Well, even in that situation, he did bite, and he ate the bike because he thought he threw the bike off stage, but he didn't.
Oh, that is what happened. You're right. Yeah, he did eat the bike.
Yeah.
Okay, that was like, I guess that was like a bad play on Gluto's end, and then a good play on Tweak's end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Bluetooth died at like 100 something. Like I think it was like 112 or something, which is insane to think about as Wario.
Yeah. Oh, 119 after the hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I mean, and it's funny too because that's one of the things that Tweak was really trying to. When he first was picking up Diddy, that was one of the big things he wanted to make sure that he got down. And it's like, dude, those corner switch, like when you die, like for messing up when you're in the corner, like it's crazy, you know. And it's like he's gotten so good at that one. It's like, yeah, most other Diddies or other people, like they would just, oh, I'm gonna throw a banana at you. Maybe I get to charge something and like, you know, do damage, but it's literally corner switch, and now you go from being an advantage to just like, oh well, I just died now.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like that tournament, like not just that tournament, but like Summon in the previous events. I don't know what it is, but I feel like Gluto's confirmations just aren't as rock solid as they used to be. I don't know if it's nerves or what, but it's something I definitely noticed. Like he's missing a lot more waft confirms.
He usually doesn't miss those, so it's very uncharacteristic seeing him like miss those waft confirms. Might be the pressure getting to him because, you know, it's very stacked tournament, collision. But also at Summit, I saw him like miss a few waft confirms.
I could definitely I can understand that because like you know you're playing people not as good, like you're not really thinking about stuff as much, so it's just easier to hit those confirms. So then once someone pushes you in a corner and like you're like, okay, now I gotta get this confirmed. Sometimes it's just that much easier to mess it up. Like, even though it's something you like constantly practice.
Yeah, I just think that if Gluto, I guess, lives in the US for a while, or at least competes more at those majors, he might get used to like dealing with the pressure a bit better and not mess up those conversions. Because from what I heard, he's been like bodying everybody in friendlies recently. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he can not get nervous, like just perform well in tournament.
So are we going to talk about him now? The what everyone
wants to know.
Everyone's waiting for it.
All right,
are we? Is it time?
Okay, let's ask. So, should MKLeo go back to Joker?
It's time.
Oh, all right. What do you guys think?
You can go first, Bam.
So for me, I think right now, no. I think it's kind of wild that we have this notion that people think that, oh, automatically I need to just drop characters. Like straight up, oh, boom, a couple tournaments in, like, oh, this is not working. Like, this is a wrap, game over. Like, throw the character to the wayside. I think that especially where Leo's at, he feels that he really enjoys the character, which I think is just big for like longevity period. He's still the best player in the world, you know, so he has time to learn, process, you know, figure these things out. And I think that's the way for him to go. I mean, I've talked to him a couple times on it too, and it seems like for the most part on his end, even when it does come to Joker, like Joker is a very, very, very precise character too. That's another thing. Like I think sometimes people, like to the point of what we're talking about for these other characters, like when we're talking about Wolf and everything like that, Joker is also kind of in that vein too, right? Obviously, when he gets Arsene, then he gets like, you know, hitboxes the size of God, and he gets to go jam and do whatever, right? But like really, like where you're playing the character majority of the time, like the character is pretty precise, and even like on upper echelons of the character, like there's a lot of stuff that has to be done to maintain that character at that level. I think if you enjoy where you're at right now, which he does clearly, and you still think there's a ceiling there, you know, which there is, there's still some places where you can optimize Byleth, then I think he just goes for it. Because even these games that he's losing, it's not like he's just getting blown back or something, you know what I mean? It's a lot of times these situations like, okay, yeah, Spargo ended up getting with that falling backer and ran out fair like at Summit to win. Like, check the percentages, dude. Like Leo was up. He had that down tilt, gets an up air or down tilt up B. That's a wrap. That's the end of that stock, you know. And we're singing a whole different tune. So I think people need to realize like it's also like how is he losing, you know? And if you look at the games that he's losing, a lot of it is player stuff that he can easily remedy, and he's done time and time again. So I think that he should just stay. Do I love the MKLeo Joker? Of course I do. Joker's sick ass character to watch. It's always interesting when you have a character that's seen as one of the best characters in the game and you don't see the character all that often, right? So when you have someone who can play them at a top level, it's sick to see. So yeah, I wish we had more Joker representation, but we don't. But I think as for a player for him, I think he's making the right choice. Just stick it out and see what you can do, and then, you know, maybe come back to it later, but not now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I feel like he should just play whoever he wants to play. If he's enjoying Byleth more and Aegis, then he should main Byleth and Aegis. And even before, like when he just picked up Joker, he got 33rd in Japan, and a lot of people were doubting him then for playing Joker. As people are doubting him now for sticking with Byleth and Aegis. But Leo's a smart enough player to make these decisions on his own. He doesn't need like people telling him what to do. Like if he feels like it's something he needs to adapt to, then that's probably what it is. And Spargo and Tweak are also amazing players. Like it's not like he lost to like randoms or like subpar players. Like, he's been losing to like really good players. Yeah. Same with Proto. Like in Proto's case, Proto even had the matchup advantage against him. With Min. So it's like he did say though. I'll add this to whatever I'm saying. He did say he's gonna play Joker against Min because he hates that matchup.
Yeah.
So, I thought that was pretty funny. Like he's only gonna play Joker for Min. I feel like that might be the gateway to like him playing more Joker in general.
Yeah.
We'll see. But for now, I just want I just want Leo to play whoever he wants to play. And knowing Leo, he's always made it work with whatever character he plays. Even in Smash 4 when he played Marth and nobody was doing good with Marth. And in this game, when he picked up Byleth and everybody thought Byleth was mid tier, he's gonna do fine. Losing to Spargo and Tweak is not a big deal at all.
I absolutely agree. Something I want to say is that I feel like people aren't bringing this up enough. I think Byleth makes it easier for him to progress in bracket more.
Yes, it does.
I actually think if he was playing Joker, he'd struggle in like a wider variety of matchups. Not just because people understanding the Joker matchup more, but I just think that like what Bam was saying, and how I mentioned it before, like Joker's like Wolf, Joker's a precise character, so I think it's just easier to mess up in a lot of situations. Whereas if you're playing Byleth, you're not gonna mess up their dash attack. It's much easier to mess up a confirm like fair one up air drag down up smash with Joker,
Yeah, that's a good point. And also Byleth's moveset in general is like a matchup check. Like if you don't know how to deal with Byleth's Nair, for example, on Shield, it's like you just look at the commentator crew battle versus versus Leo.
Yeah.
It's just a matchup check. Like we don't know how to deal with like his Nair, or if you don't know how to edge guard him, or you don't know how to deal with like his regrab, like when he regrabs the edge, which he does a lot with his tether, or you don't know how to deal with his like up B when he up B's you and you're not sure where to DI. Like all those things are really important to know. And then on top of that, I feel like Larry says, he's also just a consistent character. So it makes sense to me that he's sticking it out with Byleth.
If you look at all the tournaments he's been going Byleth in, he breezes through bracket. Like
he never has any trouble until he gets to like the top, right? Because I mean, Byleth's just one of those characters, right? Whereas if Byleth understands like something very like your basic jump habit, right, or whatever, like if Joker does, you get hit by bear, cool. Now I'm on maybe the other side of the stage. If I get hit by a bear, like by freaking Byleth, tipper back air, like I could just die at 60.
Yeah.
And I just died. That's it. Like the character just has that insane kill power, and the character can really take stocks at like 50. Like, so you start looking at it, like take stocks at like 50% ranges. Like that's insane. And like that makes things way easier when you're like, I can go for like my guaranteed B&Bs into like a soft revenge. And like if you're like an average player or like a high level player, you're probably just dying. I'm probably just doing my general combo. I get my mix up on you and you die, and that's a wrap. I don't have to think at all. I don't care what your character does. I touch you, you die. The end, right? And that's such a like people need to understand the mental dexterity that's required to go through an entire bracket. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
and when
a
you
lot.
play some of those characters that are, yes, they're really, really good on paper, but it's like there's some certain subtle nuances you have to take into account while you're playing those characters. It's going to be so much harder to sustain that level of play. And when you're able just to do like, Byleth, like, all right, get stuck in my blender, I get my mix up on you, boom, you're done 50-50, see ya. And you see that time and time again across, not just in Smash, but even all across the board in like other fighting games, all that stuff too. Like that stuff is like sustainable, and it's going to get you to where you need to go, right? And so for him, like, does he want to have to kind of recognize how he's going to deal with like 30 plus players or 40 plus players? Or does he just tweak a couple little player interactions for 2 people and wins a tournament?
Absolutely. And then here's something else I want to bring up. even if he were to play Joker, I don't think it would help him that much in the current meta. Like, he's gonna have to do a tweak. I'm pretty sure not only has Tweak said this, but also Leo said that Joker loses to Diddy Kong anyways. So it's like, okay, he goes Joker, and he's like playing a losing match regardless of whether or not he switches to Joker or Violet. And then the same thing with Aegis. Like how much is Joker actually going to help him when he's going into matchups that the character's probably going to struggle with anyways?
Yeah, I feel like the only matchup where it would help him is like Min Min from like his losses, I guess. And he said he's gonna go Joker against Min Min, so
yeah. So like
it makes sense to me.
Cause I feel like people have like this weird idea that MKLeo is like sandbagging or something. When in actually, like, oh, he's restricting himself to only playing a mid tier like Violet in order to win tournaments. When in actuality, Violet fits him the best as a player. It just fits him the best, like for what he does. MKLeo is a very spacing neutral based player, and Violet is good at those things. Yeah, I think also Joker. It's like what Bam was saying. Joker just requires a lot of maintenance. Like you have to be constantly like honing your stuff with Joker, and it's easy to mess up.
Obviously, like, you know, some of these players I'm talking about like aren't at the level of these guys, but yeah, like you see it time and time again where people kind of play Joker to invest time in the character and they really like him, and it's like, you know, the highs are awesome, but like to be able to sustain that level of play throughout bracket is very hard. And a lot of people don't recognize that. And I also think it's still silly that we're still having this conversation about how good Byleth is, and some people still thinking that Byleth's a mid tier. Like, I think that's absolutely like asinine at this point.
Yeah. But like Byleth has like what, like 5-6 different ways to kill you, like at 60-70%.
At sub 100, yeah. Like, dude, come on, dude. Like, I don't understand it.
Well,
like,
the argument against that is like, oh, well, it's MKLeo, you know, he carries that character, so it's like the player, it's not the character. But then I'm always like, well, there's just no way Leo would be able to do what he's doing right now with Ganon or like another bad character. Like, it's just not possible. Some characters it's just not possible.
Right.
Like, you need the tools. Even if you're a really good player, you still need to play a character that has the tools to fulfill you to like your full potential, basically.
Yeah.
And he needs a character like that. So yeah, I don't see MKLeo getting the same results he is right now with like a character like Ganon or like Little Mac, you know?
Yeah, you just have to look at what the base character is, right? Like, just because a top player picks the character up, yes, are they going to be able to do things more precise? You know, yes. Are they going to have probably better reads? Yes. Does that mean they get a magical host of new techniques and new like the freaking moves that no one else has? No. Like, you know, it's not like just like, oh, I'm playing and like I'm like, oh man, I wish my Aegis could do like up B, and then like Ramen plays it and all of a sudden like he flies across the screen and they die at 0. Like no, is he better player? Yes. Like outside, like, but like, dude, that's just how it goes, right? Like, and people have this weird idea sometimes where it's like, and this may just be a general lack of understanding about the game, right? But a lot of people will just assume that's like, oh, this character is a mid tier based on people say it's a mid tier. And no one else is winning with it. So if some top player picks it up, it has to be because it's purely 100% them. Obviously, Leo is a factor, but he's not the sole factor why Byleth is able to do these things. Like, regardless of what you say, Byleth has a godlike tether recovery, right? And that is what it is.
The best tether recovery.
It's the best tether recovery.
Yeah, of course, free. Like, it's not even close, right? And it's like and that's not because of MKLeo doing some magical thing or whatever. Like, no, that's just ingrained in the character, and it is what it is. The character can literally spike you out of their up B. Like, that's just the nature of the character, right? So people need to recognize what is due to the character and what is due to the player.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, and even like the community's general view on certain characters can be so inaccurate sometimes, and it's been historically proven over and over. Like, when the game came out, people thought Game & Watch was like bottom 1 or like bottom 2. Like, I saw so many tier lists where Game & Watch was just supposedly like trash, right? And then, you know, the trend continues. Like, people thought Byleth was low tier at first, and then people thought he was mid tier, and then people thought Jigglypuff was like the worst character in the game, and then Base Mage started being like Gluto to tweak the game 5, like beat a bunch of good players. And then it's funny how like the view on certain characters changes immensely based off of like one player having like a breakout performance at a tournament. Then all of a sudden people are like on the complete other side of the fence. It's like, no, just think for yourself. Like, look at the character. Stop like looking at tier lists from like even top players, you know?
Yeah.
It's like look at it from like a subjective point of view and just think for yourself. Basically, don't just like follow what the top players tell you to. Like even Steve when Steve came out, Isla said like he was like bottom five, right?
The worst character in the game, debatably.
It's just like the community's view on like certain characters isn't always accurate. So don't let, if you have like a hot take or like a controversial opinion on a certain character, don't let people give you shit for it, because it's been proven a lot of times that the majority doesn't, just because the majority thinks a certain character is bad or good doesn't mean you're right. So just have your own take. Be your own person. Yeah,
some people they don't have all the information, and they'll base their opinion off of like one specific thing, but they're not looking at the big picture.
Yeah. Got to zoom out, man.
Yeah. Here's a perfect example. I'm gonna put this person on blast. Apex 2015. I'm with Zenodo. I'm watching Low One play Bam. At Apex 2015.
Wait, what? Smash 4?
This is Smash 4.
Yeah.
This is Smash 4.
Okay, yeah.
Low One grabs Bam at like 100-something%, down throws him, does nothing. I look at Zenodo and I'm like, dude, why didn't Low One down throw Cyclone or back air Bam? He could have killed him. And Zenodo says, oh, that doesn't work. It's not a true combo. We tested it.
You know the worst part too? I think because of that I air dodged and I got hit.
Yeah.
And literally because he just didn't do anything. Because I was thinking he was gonna down throw Cyclone because it's guaranteed, but he didn't know it was guaranteed. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Sometimes people don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, like even when they say it in the most convincing way possible, there's still a chance they have no idea what the f you're talking about. So
shouts to Zenodo though. I give him a lot of shit all the time, but he's one of my favorite players in Smash. Okay, so we got that topic out of there. Let's talk about Light. We haven't talked about Light. He had a pretty solid run as well.
Third, fourth?
No, he got fifth.
No, it was Riddle got fourth. He got fifth. Okay. Was it Tweak Diddy all the way through?
Yeah, Tweak Diddy. Dude, Tweak just edge guarded the hell out of him. It's like, that match was just like Tweak just spiking him at like 30%. Consistently. It was crazy.
That sounds annoying, honestly.
Yeah.
Getting edgeguarded by Diddy is like, I feel like it's kind of hard for Diddy to edgeguard Fox, because he doesn't really have like the disjoints to compete with his up B, besides maybe a well-placed down air or like a well-placed forward air. But it doesn't seem easy. He also doesn't have like a counter. I feel like Fox's up B gets blown up by counter characters more.
Well, I mean, Diddy can two frame recover. Yeah.
That's true.
That move's broken.
The F tilt is so good for two framing. It's insane.
Yeah, that move's insane. You don't even have to angle it, and it'll still two frame.
Yeah, I saw him do that actually.
Yeah, a lot of what Tweak was doing was he would just banana Z drop dare, like in situations where he didn't feel like he could like just flat out beat Firefox.
That makes sense actually. Yeah, that seems like it would work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but even then, sometimes he just comboed him into a spike and killed him. Like Nair spike kills at like absurdly low %.
There's no reason why Diddy's down air should be that strong.
It's insane how strong it is.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but something I gotta say about Light is it's impressive because he has so many close sets. Like it's so like playing Fox is so stressful, and he always pulls the win out of his ass somehow. Well, not always, but most of the time.
Yeah, you need some god level like composure for that.
Yeah, because I think he reversed 3-0'd Zomba. That I don't know if you guys saw that set, but that set was kind of nuts because he was just dying at 40 consistently. Rob's shenanigans.
I love watching Light though. I think Light's one of my favorite players right now to watch. Light and Tweak, those two players are like in my top 5, top 6 favorite players to watch, because they're just for Light. I just like watching Light because he's so aggressive and he's like. He just approaches a lot, which I like. And Tweak is just like Tweak is always fun to watch because it's Tweak. It's like a work of art basically. I was gonna mention this earlier, but I totally forgot. I want to see Zachary compete again at a tournament.
Yes.
Like I haven't seen him like in a while, and I still think he's the best player in Japan. Even though a lot of people started thinking it was Proto at some point, I actually still think it's Zachary. And I would love to see how he does right now in the current meta at like US events, basically.
Has Zachary even been competing after Kagaribi? Because I know he won the last Kagaribi event, and then
kind of just was gone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up with results in Japan, so I was just assuming probably just goes to locals and stuff.
He would definitely stir things up a lot because he's insanely good. He's another player that people think fairly highly of, like from top players. I interviewed Spargo, and he told me at Ultimate Summit 3, Zachary was just consistently beating him. So when he played Zachary, he didn't even think he was going to beat him.
That's crazy coming from Spargo.
Oh, you just felt like he was just gonna get jammed, and that was it?
Yeah, because he said that he just kept beating him.
Yeah, I feel like there's been some discussions around like current top 5 players, top 6 players in the world, and like I didn't see Zachary's name in those lists at all. But that's literally only because he hasn't been to like a U.S. tournament in a while. I feel like
it's recency bias, dude. Like
it's literally recency bias. Like the moment he goes back to a U.S. major and he does well, like people will remember how good he is.
Yeah, dude, I hate that so much because it's like people will base their opinion on players off of the last 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's such a weird thing to do, especially considering how many big tournaments Smash has all the time. It's like it's so hard to do that basically.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is like not everyone could go to every event. So like, you know, like Mars hasn't gone to like anything this year, or like, you know, any of the big events that have been happening. So we don't know how he would have done. There's a lot to think about. That
yeah. Same with Wizzy.
Yeah, Dark Wizzy has not gone anything. I don't know what happened because he was supposed to go to this event, and then I think something personal came up and he actually just dropped out.
I think he was supposed to go to like a bunch of events.
Yeah, he's been dropping out of a lot of events. I think.
I mean, I get it. Sometimes, you know, some personal life stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And you're not always in the right mental space to compete.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've definitely forced myself to do so in the past, where I feel like I shouldn't go to the tournament because of just like personal stuff, and then I go and I underperform and I just regret going, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I can never blame anybody for like, you know, flaking if they don't feel like going.
Yeah, I think it's good for him to. I mean, I don't know how much he's been practicing and where he's at right now, but I think it would be good for him. I mean, I feel like for him as a player, obviously he's like his neutral kind of stuff is like still like great. I know last time, like, you know, he's kind of getting on. There's like ongoing complaints. I mean, definitely I was one of the people who was talking about it too on commentary, but like him just kind of getting better with his overall punish game, because this game, like, people are getting better. You can't go idly by getting a down throw with Mario and just getting up air. Like, that's just not enough anymore. I hope that he's okay, you know, whatever he's dealing with in life. That's first and foremost. You know, at the end of the day, we all love this game. We're passionate about it, and, you know, we can build a life from it, but it's not life in and of itself, right? So yeah, as long as he's taking care of that stuff, that's first and foremost. And to Raman's point already, like, yeah, you know, if you don't feel like you're in a spot to you know, play your game, you know, then like take the time, get there, and then try it out. You know, don't get stuck to the point where you just don't ever make that choice. You know, if deep down inside you really do want to compete, but you know, obviously get your preparation on a bit and then come in and do what you got to do, because people are obviously going to be gunning for him, unfortunately, because they're like, oh, Dark Wizzy, this and that. You know, I beat Dark Wizzy. Everyone wants that these days, man. They're always trying to beat someone, man, get their clout and everything. So you know. Step in there when you're ready for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's stressful. Like, you feel a certain way, and if you force yourself to compete,
it's hard. Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah, but basically, what I was gonna say is, I feel like, especially in this day and age, where there's like a lot of social media, so if you lose and you're just like not in a good mindset, social media will just shit on you sometimes, and it just makes
Reddit is the worst.
Yeah, it just makes it that much worse. So it's like
it just like, if you're not in, like I said, if you're not in the right mental space, competing can just make it worse sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you said, social media is so big nowadays. Like, if you underperform, like, all these random ass people will just shit on you, you know?
Yeah, like some people, they'll feel like a particular way, like they feel like they have to do something in order to get some sort of validation, and it's not really that way. Yeah,
it really isn't.
Yeah, like I've definitely talked to quite a few people, and they're like, oh, saying this about me online. I'm like, okay, just turn off your phone, just close your browser, stop looking. like your real friends don't care that much about it, or at all, you know. Yeah. Enough about that though. Let's talk about Glory 2. That was a really big event in Spain. I want to say that was the biggest event in Europe this year so far, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so Ramen, you were at the event. How was it? How was Spain?
It was fun, honestly. I've been to Spain before for Brawl, but that was like 13 years ago. So like, or 12 years ago.
A long time ago.
A long ass time ago, basically. And this is the first time I went to Barcelona, because last time I went to Madrid. Yeah, it was very nice. Like the Spanish community was very wholesome. Everybody's like super kind. I think the EU crowds in particular are like always really hype. Like I thought it was just a French thing at first, but after going to Spain and going to the UK in the past for Smash 4, they just get really hyped over like a lot of stuff, which is I love. Like even like stuff not worth getting hyped over, they'll still like, you know, cheer, they'll still like shout, which I love that energy at tournaments. And that was like a lot of it was just exactly like that. So it was really fun. The event itself was ran properly. There was actually a power outage like in the entire street or block, not even in just that particular building, on that same day in the morning, basically. So the Teals got super unlucky because they had to delay everything for like an hour or two, and it wasn't even like it was completely outside of their, you know, it wasn't even their fault basically because the entire street had no power. But despite that, they made it work. Like nothing really ran late, everything ran fine. Yeah, it was a good event. I like the event a lot.
Cool. Also, shout out to you. You top 8'd.
Yeah, I got top 5. Yeah, so I did pretty good. Now I'm a little bit upset about my losses, because I got double eliminated by Flo, who's been doing really good recently. Yeah, he's definitely improved a lot recently. It's a little bit upset because you know, he came to my house for like 4 days about a month ago, and I just kind of destroyed him every day. I think over the course of like 3 days, I lost like a few sets basically. But he's been improving a lot since, so you know I can't be too mad. He's definitely been improving a lot. I just think for me personally, I need to get like my Sheik tournament gameplay up to par with my Sheik in friendlies, because it's hard. Like I feel like Sheik is such a stressful character to play with in tournament. There's just a lot of like technical stuff you can't afford to mess up. And then on top of that, you're very light. So if you're like playing as Roy and he's like at 120 and you're like at 40, like it's still stressful because you're Sheik and you can still get down tilted into like textures F smash, which happened twice, by the way.
Yeah.
So like it's just stuff like that. It is very stressful as Sheik in tournament. Obviously, Flo got a lot better. I don't want to deny any of his improvement because he has been doing really good at recent tournaments. But part of me also felt like I was just losing to myself. I was just not holding my composure with Sheik. So there's just a bunch of stuff I need to work on after coming back. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to a bunch of locals with Sheik and just get back into like the groove of like, or in the mindset of like playing Sheik in tournament. And yeah, go from there basically.
I'm definitely excited to see the Ramen Sheik. I said it before, but you know, it still stands. I'm excited to see the Ramen Sheik.
Ramen Sheik is pretty nice, man. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm playing more Sheik now than Crom, so you guys should see my Sheik more in tournament for sure.
Yeah. Minus the quick set.
Yeah, well, I don't like Sheik or just Samus. I tried that matchup against Siskwi at like a German tournament, and we played 2 sets, and one set was like last stock, and the other set he kind of bodied me. But like I feel like Crom just destroys Samus, so like there's no reason to not go Crom in that matchup.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. So Leon had a huge losers run. He lost, I think it was round 1 of the main bracket, and then he beat a lot of really good players. Now he beat Mr. E.
Yeah.
He beat Eatmas. He got the run back on Vidad, who sent him into losers. He beat, I feel like he beat like 1 or 2 other notable
players. He beat Flo as well.
Oh, he beat Flo, yeah.
He beat Siskwi as well.
Oh, he beat Siskwi, yeah.
Leon's ledge trapping is so good right now. It's crazy. Like when you're, I don't know if you guys saw any of his sets, but when you're on the edge against Leon, his Lucina, he's literally one of the best ledge trappers in the world right now. Like I'm not even memeing. Like his ledge trapping is so good. It's very demoralizing, like being on the edge against him. That's also like why I'm up 2-0 against Leon in sets with Crom, but that was like from 2 years ago, basically, like 2 to 3 years ago. And I played Crom against him recently in friendlies, and he kind of just washed my Crom, mainly because he has such good ledge trapping now. So like I just get ledge trapped, and as Crom, when you get ledge trapped, you go off stage, and then there's just the chance you might die because you're off stage now. So like the better your opponent's ledge trapping, the harder it is as Crom, basically. So it's not even just edge guarding, it's also ledge trapping. So I just go Sheik against him now, at least in friendlies I did. And yeah, I just want to say, like, his ledge trapping, I mean, his gameplay in general has been super clean, but his ledge trapping, like, in particular, has been amazing. Like, I wish you guys saw the Mr. E versus Leon set, which is a pretty hype matchup, in my opinion. Like, Mr. E, Lucina versus Leon, Lucina. Yeah. I mean, I guess more of a player matchup than a character matchup because they were both Brawl Marth mains. So like seeing them like duke it out and Lucina dittos in this game was pretty cool. It went to game 5. It was a close set. Like the majority of the set was just like them blitz trapping each other. So I wish it was like saves because it's pretty fun to watch. But yeah, other than that, like I think Leon's improved a lot recently, similar to Flo. Like I feel like in the last year or so, they're like 2 of the players that have improved the most in Europe.
Yeah, something that impressed me a lot about Leon is just I feel like his advantage state with Lucina is just dumb. It's dumb good, and it's different from Proto Banaham's. I think that's the other cool thing about it. I feel like in a lot of cases he uses up B better than Proto off stage. Like
yeah,
it just looks really nice.
I mean that makes sense because in Brawl the way you're supposed to use up B is a little bit similar to how you use up B in this game. So he has like that muscle memory and like he just has that knowledge from knowing when to use up B like really well. Even like his combo breaker up Bs are like super annoying sometimes. Like you'll try to like combo him and he just up Bs out of it, which is like something a lot of Lucinas do. But he has like the awareness to even up B out of like single hits sometimes, and reaction time as well. And then he just knows exactly when to up B and when to not up B. And yeah, like you said, his advantage state is ridiculous. The best way for him to showcase, or one of the better ways to showcase his advantage state is if you ever watch him fight Snake, he makes Snake look like a mid-tier. Like when he plays against Snake players. It's ridiculous. I'm really waiting for the day he has to fight like MVD or like Shogun or like Apollo Kage in tournament because I'm sure he's going to do well.
I gotta say, this is probably the most excited I've seen you talking. he just looks so excited talking.
I mean, I love that's my boy. You know, we've been friends for like 14 years.
Yeah.
I love seeing him do well, especially because he didn't play Smash 4. He didn't like Smash 4, so he kind of skipped out on Smash 4. So like the fact that he's doing so well recently, you know, I'm really happy for him.
Yeah,
Happy to see him back, man.
Same. I'm curious as to whether or not you're ever going to pick up Lucina, because you talked about
boring.
I was gonna say you talked about Mr. E and Leon's Brawl
I
Mart.
feel like a traitor, but you know, it is what it is. I tried playing Lucina a few times. She's just so floaty in this game. She has like barely any combos.
There's no world. Everything that you love about Brawl Marth, I feel like is in Crom, dude.
Exactly. Like Crom is more similar to Brawl Marth than Lucina is in this game.
Yeah.
So like, there's no point in playing her. Even though Lucina is probably better than Crom, I feel like Crom's infinitely cooler. So.
Dude, Andres FN, he went in.
Oh yeah.
He went in.
Yeah. Tarek is really good too.
Yeah, he did. We got to see fighting game character winners finals, which is pretty hype.
That is pretty hype. I love that matchup actually.
I have to bring it up because it's still every time I think about it, it's freaking hilarious. You know, Andres used to do the thumbnails for my YouTube videos.
I think you told me about that. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he used to do the thumbnails for my YouTube videos.
The GOAT, dude.
He's just like now he's freaking just going off. He also,
Legend,
I'm pretty sure he also edits for Izal.
I was about to say that. I think he also edits and does the thumbnails for Izal's channel.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of hype, dude.
Man,
He's
dude.
multi-talented,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Mr. Versatility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Damn. Renaissance man, dude.
Yeah, but watching him, I was very impressed because he plays incredibly disciplined compared to other fighting game characters. So I feel like a lot of fighting game characters, they kind of just like abuse the auto turnaround. They just start mashing attacks because they can. Well, with him, he was just very patient, and I also liked the way he called out people jumping with Shoryu a lot, and I feel like he's just really good at doing that.
Yeah, I saw that. Like the raw Shoryus as the anti-airs, and like a lot of Shoto players do that, but like his success rate on it was like insanely high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it definitely
Very
was.
impressive.
I feel like also he just understood when to do it, because like, you know, there's a lot of people that they'll just do it to do it, and like they won't get as much off of it. But I feel like every time he did it, it was like a significant moment.
Or
Yeah.
it actually can kill.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, the other high thing about Andres winning that tournament is that he defended his country.
Yeah, I was gonna say like his home country in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So you always love to see that, especially after Siskwi lost and got 9th.
Yeah.
Forgot who Siskwi lost to in winners, but he lost to Leon in losers.
I think he lost to Flo.
Oh, he did lose to Flo. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was hype seeing him defend his country.
Yeah, it was just really cool. I'm happy for him. Also, is Tarek maining Kazuya now?
I think he's duo maining Kazuya and Greninja. He just had a bunch of Kazuya matchups.
Okay. It's still wild to me. You know, he mained Greninja, then Kazi came out.
Kazuya.
It's quite the shift.
Yeah.
I want to say he's the only player in competitive Smash that I've seen. Actually, no, the only player in Ultimate. I don't want to say competitive Smash, but the only player in Ultimate that's like switched over to a fighting game character.
That didn't play fighting game character prior, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because let's not forget about my Smash for Ryu. He went kind of hard, but you rephrased it and said Ultimate, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, because like in Ultimate, Ryu's like the only character that fit that category, and then like people transitioned over to him.
Yeah.
Oh wait, did Burr?
T.
Wait, who did Burr main? Someone said Burr, the Kazuya from Texas. He's an Inkling.
Oh yeah, he was an Inkling. Yeah. He went Inkling to freaking Kazuya. He was the most random one.
That's actually more random than Tarek, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, never mind. That's wow.
I don't know. Does T actually play Kazuya in tournament though? That's not Squad Strike.
He's played Kazuya in tournament before. I think he
he actually does.
Yeah, he's done
In
it
Japan?
Yeah, in Japan.
Oh, okay. I guess I haven't seen it.
Like he actually has a legitimate Kazuya. Like obviously there's still a little bit more things he needs to get, but like he's got electrics. Like he's got some electrics down for sure. Like I was very, very surprised. I'm like, dude, that's not a character that you secondary,
Not as a Pac-Man main, yeah.
Definitely not as a Pac-Man main.
I want to say he's played Kazi against Shuton in tournament. I don't remember if he won or not, but I know he's definitely taken round. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I have one thing, and I just it would be curious to hear from you guys, but one of the big things kind of coming off of Summit, at least on my end, was kind of okay, we're getting back into actual, offline play. You kind of have the tried and true, top level players, and then you have some rising stars coming up, and you have some people kind of pushing forward the punish meta in this game. Are we going to see people kind of start to shift to optimizing punish game? Are we going to see more of the standard, status quo? What's going to happen from here? And so, I would love to hear from you guys, what you guys think about that.
My personal opinion, I feel like, as the game progresses, the punish game will be improved. But I think first and foremost, it's important to hold advantage. Let's say you could do this crazy optimized punish. How consistent are you with it? Is it easy to mess up? If it's easy to mess up, then I think it's just better to juggle the opponent or ledge trap them or put them in situations where you can get not a super optimal punish, but an optimal enough punish to get the kill. I think that just being able to hold advantage without overextending and messing up is the most important thing. I think that's something that we've been seeing people do more often.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. And this also goes alongside what you're saying, because it's also advantage state. People are getting better at ledge trapping in this game. And this is especially apparent if you watch Spargo or MKLeo sets. But even people not quite on the same level, everybody's getting better at ledge trapping now. They're getting better at grabbing regular get-ups. They're getting better at reacting to rolls. They have better punishes against get-up attacks. It's the ledge and being above somebody at both areas where sometimes you just have to guess basically and hope you pick the right option. When you're in the driver's seat and you're juggling somebody and you're ledge trapping somebody, having a sort of flow chart or a game plan where you can cover as many options as possible is so important. And I feel recently I've been noticing that a lot of people have been getting better at those two aspects, just juggling and ledge trapping.
Something else to add, there's some situations where when you're juggling someone, you literally can cover everything.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people do it. They'll throw out an arrow to cover the air dodge, and then it doesn't matter how they air dodge, they're gonna get hit. If they throw out an aerial, they're gonna get hit by the aerial anyways. And then just based off of what they pick, you could just get a more damaging option.
Yeah, it's scary being against being in the air against good players is very scary. Because then you're all right, well let me go to the edge instead. I don't want to land on stage, and then you have to deal with their insane ledge trapping. So it's there's no right options sometimes, and sometimes there's no options. You said,
you just gotta hold it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about where edge guarding is gonna go? Cause I do feel we're seeing once again some people just be It's not so much as a new thing, because Leon has always been jamming it in terms of edge guarding. People like Proto and stuff too, yourself, all these people. But it seems as a whole, the scene is becoming more aware of the power of edge guarding. They kind of knew, but they've always felt it was just too hard like there's too many variables. But now it seems like people are getting better at understanding, like, no, you can kind of categorize, like, you know, if they're going from low recovery here, what beats out all those options if you have enough time. You know, if they go high, it could beat it here. If they're kind of mid and it's kind of ambiguous, there's certain ways to cover stuff up, similar to like juggle situations where I can throw out a hitbox here, and either A, if you air dodge, I can still hit you in time or get back on stage in time and still have my ledge trap, etc. Do you guys think that you're going to see a further push of that in, like, you know, going into this year? Or do you think people are kind of just, you know, it's just going to kind of chill and people are just going to stay focused on the ledge trapping and everything?
So the thing is with edge guarding is I feel like it's very matchup dependent and very character based. So people are getting better at recognizing the situations and the characters where they can go off stage against, but it's not like you can just like, it's not the same way as ledge trapping is, where it's like if you just have like, if you improve your overall ledge trapping, it's going to help you in like 90% of the matchups. Whereas for a lot of edge guarding, it's like very matchup dependent. So people are getting better at those individual like matchups and knowing how to edge guard those characters. I just don't think it's not gonna be as impactful as just having better ledge trapping is for that reason, basically.
Pretty much what Ramen said. It's just super matchup dependent. Yes, there's going to be certain situations where you see people go for edge guarding more in particular matchups, but I think overall it very much depends on the character. Like here's a good example. I could see Diddy's going out more for edge guarding because he has the ability to do the banana Z drop down here. That's just going to cover a lot of options. Little Mac, for example, yeah, I'm not expecting Little Mac to go out and edge guard someone. Yeah, he's probably going to go for a 2 from our ledge trap.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense for sure. Like, there's certain characters that obviously are more tuned to being like edge guarding type characters, and then there's obviously more matchups where like it'll be like more dependent. Like, obviously it's very good as people get better at edge guarding versus like Aegis, for example, because obviously then that character, you're keeping that character away off stage, you know? And there's going to be certain matchups like that versus others where it's like, yeah, they're probably coming back anyways. Maybe you get a hit or two, but it's not going to be all that much, and at that point it's probably just better for you to not overextend versus you know, getting a couple hits that aren't going to lead to a kill, right? So it's like identifying when it's actually a kill versus not.
Yeah. It's also like in a tournament environment, like going for edge guards sometimes, well, obviously there's certain times where the edge guard is like pretty much guaranteed if you recognize the exact situation. But there's also times where you go out there and you're basically guessing and you're hoping your edge guard is going to work. And a good example is Spargo did the back air into forwarder against Leo at Summit, and it worked out for him, and he won the set because of it. But then last tournament, or like at Collision, Spargo went for the same exact thing. He went for back air into drop zone forwarder, and then Leo just jumped before the forwarder came out, and then Leo edge guarded Spargo, and Spargo literally died for going off stage. So it's like, it can work sometimes, like it clearly did at Summit, but then other times it's just like, you give away stage positioning, you get ledge trapped, and worst case scenario, you die for it. So it really depends on like which risk you're willing to take. Are you willing to like maybe take out his stock, or, you know, obviously it's not guaranteed, but are you willing to risk stage positioning and a potential stock of your own to close out his stock? Or would you rather just go for the more like consistent and like more safer like ledge trap play? But I think that ultimately depends on the type of player you are. Some people are very instinctive. Some people are very like robotic, and I feel like the more like robotic like type of players, like Mitsuki for example, he's just that type of player. Those type of players usually go for more ledge traps in this game, so not in Melee, but in this game. And then the more instinctive players usually go for like they don't mind taking like risk, basically.
Yeah. Something I want to say, you know what's funny about the Spargo, or the way Spargo won against MKLeo at Summit? I want to say what he did was guaranteed because MKLeo crouch canceled.
Crouch canceled?
Yeah, he reduced the knockback.
Yeah,
cancel, though.
I saw that too. Yeah.
Crouch cancel.
You don't think he crouch canceled that?
No, he didn't. He down tilted right before, literally a frame before.
I think you can crouch cancel if you're doing an action, can't you?
I believe not.
Oh, you can't?
I don't think you can.
I thought so too,
Okay.
but so there's a shout outs to the Crest Scholars, but they're like a Byleth main, like you know, Discord, they do their stuff, but a lot of them are really, really knowledgeable about the game and overall. And we thought the same thing. Me and Charles, we thought it was like the bear. The reason why it comboed into the fair was because of the crouch cancel, but he actually showed us like literally like one frame before you can see him pull back for the down tilt animation. and then he gets hit by a bear, and then once you're in an action like that, it'll no longer reduce it. You'll no longer have the crouch cancel effect. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, that's good
Yeah,
to know.
the more you know. Yeah. Cause I definitely thought the same thing. I was like, wow, you crouch cancel and jammed yourself. Well, that kind of sucks. Like, but
Makes sense because I feel like crouch canceling would be broken otherwise in this game if you could do that like during your down smash or during your down tilt.
that'd be kind of hype.
It would be hype because I think right now crouch canceling is like kind of useless. I want to say because like why crouch cancel when you can just shield and not take the hit at all, or like roll or whatever. It makes more sense if you're already committed to a move to be able to crouch cancel. But if you're not committed to anything, it's like why would you crouch cancel in this game?
Yeah, you might as well shield majority of the time. I think there's some instances where it can make sense where it's like if people, because sometimes I think there's a lot of people still aren't taking into account crouch cancel. So there's situations where you can get hit and then like people will overextend and they don't realize they're overextending because they think that it should be able to combo, but it's not a combo because obviously you crouch canceled, right? And like so you get out of something and you reversal them. Like so I've seen some of those situations where it like makes sense. And I think Void has done that a few times or whatever on some things, but like it's like overall like you must usually like shield is probably the answer, right? Like there's very nuanced things where it's like above, and at that point it's like like why you want to go for that? You might as well just go for the thing that 99% of the time is probably the better answer to shield, or just not be there.
That's I'm just thinking about it. So like I'm assuming you can crouch cancel like a weak nair at 0.
Yeah, like something like that, right? And then it's like, or like you crouch cancel like maybe like a launcher at early percents, and then they're like they just auto go into their combo because they think that it should combo, and then it just doesn't, and then you just go and body them, and then they start thinking like, oh, what happened? But like again, like it's such a, if someone even like recognizes like, oh, they're crouching as I hit them, they just don't do anything, then it's like
exactly, yeah. I feel like even then it's like you're kind of relying on your opponent to mess up basically, to not react in time.
Yeah. And for them just to not know, like if they know what crouch canceling is and they hit you there, then they're just gonna be like, oh yeah. Overall, in the long term of things, it's just pretty useless.
It sucks because this game could use more tech compared to all the other Smash games. There's like not that much tech in this game, especially like character specific tech, let alone like global tech all around. I feel like character specific tech is like almost non-existent in this game, besides like a few characters obviously, only compared to like the other games, right? So I'm sure some people will hear my statement and think, no, there's like tech in this game. Oh, there is, but like if you look at Raw or like Melee or like even Smash 4, there's like more like character specific tech, which I really liked about those games.
Yeah, I mean whenever there is something, they remove it. They're like, oh yeah, this shouldn't be that like that.
Yeah, like I forgot who it was, which character, but I remember one character was able to like edge cancel with your side B, and then they just removed that.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was though. Yeah.
But there definitely was that. The biggest one to me was always the little Mac jab.
Oh, though I was just thinking about the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the 1, 2, dude. Oh man, like the moment that happened, I made a video about it. I was hyped, bro. Like he literally I'm like, finally, he's got actual boxing combos. Like he's got combinations. He's a boxer, and they were just like, oh shit. Nah, it's change that.
Yeah.
See ya.
Okay, so this one's not really tech, but the fact that Peach and Daisy had different knockbacks on their turnips, and then they
never changed that.
No, they changed it.
Oh, they did. Wait, did they change it?
Yeah.
Oh, on your okay, I misunderstood you. I thought you were gonna say on your. Okay, I know they have like different damage outputs on your float, or they have the same. Sorry, they have the same damage output on their float as their. Oh, wait, let me rephrase that.
Full hop.
Yeah, so they don't get the damage multiplier when they float, right?
No. So, when you short hop, their damage is reduced. They don't have their damage reduced when they float.
Okay, I thought that's what you were gonna say, and I thought you were gonna say how they haven't patched that out, but you're saying something completely different. Something about turnips.
So, I believe Daisy's turnips did less knockback than Peach's. Like that was
really
in the beginning of Ultimate
early on.
Yeah, and then they changed it.
That's so random.
Like that was the only difference between Peach and Daisy, was that Daisy's turnips did more knockback.
Right, like out of all of them, like out of all the echoes, like they're the only ones that are just literally straight uniform.
Oh well, no, there's Richter and Simon.
Oh yeah, Simon.
Yeah,
but then they have their the fire. Isn't the fire different?
Oh yeah, no, the holy water, yeah.
Holy water, how it interacts is different, a little bit different.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Cause I think it's because one's actual fire properties it like explodes things that are fire versus the other one doesn't, or something.
Yeah,
It's something
I think
along those
so.
lines.
Yeah.
But there's different like properties towards it,
Huh.
but all the other stuff is like the same. But literally Peach and Daisy, they're like, nah, we're not gonna keep that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to me that in Squad Strike you're allowed to go like basically your clone characters. You can just pick them, and it doesn't matter. I feel like they should be banned in Squad Strike.
Well, it's like
so too.
it's kind of weird because like there's some characters that shouldn't be echoes. I feel like if you really think about it, like Roy and Crom.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole argument. It's like, where do you draw the line, right? But I feel like you can easily distinguish those characters from. You can easily distinguish the echoes that are too different from the echoes that aren't that different. Like Dr. Mario and Mario, two completely different characters. Roy and Crom, two completely different characters. Peach and Daisy, not so much.
Yeah, but see, Mario and Dr. Mario aren't considered echoes.
Oh, they're not in Squad Strike?
No, they're different.
Oh, no,
characters.
you just mean in general. Okay, they're different characters. Okay, that's true. They're not echoes. But then Roy and Crom are?
Yeah, that's the thing. And then okay, here's another thing. Why is Alf not an echo? Why is he just a completely different skin? Yeah,
He literally is like. They definitely like went with the idea, and halfway through they didn't know what they're doing.
it's just
like,
they just BS it.
yeah, it's kind of just like whatever. Because clearly some of these characters are literally the exact same, and it's like, you know what, we'll just make them skin. We'll just make this one an echo. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
just
and freaking Ken and Ryu, they're actually very different.
yeah, they're like
They're
very
super
very
different, yeah.
Yeah,
They're probably the most different like echo characters.
yeah, it's actually nuts to like if you really think about it. They didn't plan that through
Wait,
at all.
are they considered echoes?
Yeah, they're echoes.
Ryu and Ken, yeah, they're echoes.
Wait, what? That makes no sense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
it's like they're like the most
They're
farthest.
so
from echoes.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They didn't think that through.
No, they did not.
Because then the links aren't echoes, like Young Link and Toon Link.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't be echoes.
Oh yeah, Pin Dark Pit.
Yeah, Pit and Dark Pit. It's like, yeah, you definitely have like a variance. Like you have some that are like very different, and then you have some that are literally straight up identical outside of like they're pretty much a skin. It's a glorified skin.
I guess that's like the whole thing. It's like, where do you draw the line with Squad Strike? Like, what do you? So instead of doing that, they just draw no line. You're just like, okay, you can pick echo characters.
But that being said, I do agree with you, Roman. I think we are knowledgeable enough about the game at this point to really discern which ones should be and not. And I think this whole idea of like, no, this seems arbitrary. Like, no, we know Daisy and Peach are literally exactly the same.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't seem
Literally
fair.
are.
You can
Yeah, like
it's not fair. Like you can
Yeah.
pick Daisy and Peach in a 3-format Squad Strike. Like that's just, if you're a Peach main, like you're just playing your main twice. Like
exactly.
you know, it's not fair.
It's not. Like, maybe back in the day when we didn't know anything, sure, you can do that. Like, now we know enough to be very clear that's like, Crom and Roy should be okay. Like, Peach and Daisy need to go, you know, and like, Pit and Dark Pit are okay, like, whatever. Like, that's how I see it. And like, yeah, maybe some people will argue, and it's, you know, it's a solid argument. Some people are like, oh, well, they're still close enough to those characters, but it's like, yeah, there's also other characters that are still very close to other characters and play similar as well. So I think at that point, it's okay. Just as long as it's not the exact same character, which Peach and Daisy pretty much are. Which
Pretty much are, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much are. So no one really likes to play Squad Track anyways for some reason. So.
Dude, I love Squad
I love
Strike.
Squad Strike.
I love it too.
Dude, I honestly,
a lot of characters loves it.
I would take Squad Strike over doubles. I get to play all three
Me too.
species. I get to play Falco,
Yeah, me
Wolf,
too.
and Better Fox.
Shut up. Stupid me, brawler. I really like Squad Strike. Unfortunately, I feel that there's a lot of times when we have Squad Strike, it's pretty much just like someone like, oh, they have their one character and then they're like trash secondaries. But like, I love seeing it where it's like people like they clearly play multitude of characters, and it's really like it's a really beautiful thing to see them play those characters and
Yeah.
see also how their overall playstyle shifts to like, or like their overall playstyle like is uniform throughout these different characters, like in these different toolkits. It's like expressed in different ways. I actually really love seeing that shit, but-
Yeah, it exposes people that don't play a lot of characters or don't have fundies as well.
Yeah.
Which I love seeing. I love seeing, like, you know, yeah, I just love it. And then also, it's cool seeing like secondaries from certain top players. It's like, whoa, you play this character and you're so good at playing this character? I had no idea until now.
Yeah.
So it's just cool.
Like Leon using Hero. Why is this hero so good?
Wait, which Leon? Bowser Leon?
Yeah, Bowser Leon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I never saw that.
Yeah, he has a really good hero in Banjo.
Yeah, that's so random. Like you wouldn't
Yeah.
think of a Bowser main
Yeah,
to have like a good hero or a Banjo.
All right, I think let's end the talk here. It was great. We need to schedule one of these where we get Scat in here as well, like all
I feel
four of
like
us.
Scat is so hard to like
He's
reach. You're like so hard to like set appointments with. Scat, if you're watching this, you know, putting you on the spot right now because you know it's true. You know it's true. I mean, he knows.
I mean, to be fair, I'm definitely not good at organizing this because it's like a last minute thing. I'll just kind of throw it out. But Ramen's the homie. He's always down. He's just always ready.
Yeah, always down. I don't have anything to do around this time usually because it's like pretty late here, and then usually I'm done streaming. I'm done going to the gym. Pretty flexible around this time.
Man's down for the culture, dude.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.